Last time I showed you the highlights of the first half of the Baking Blind tour, so you could see me working in professional kitchens, which was pretty daunting, but also with the home cooks in Virginia Beach and amazingly in the jungle with Noam. So all of those videos are available on the YouTube channel, but here are the highlights from the second half of the tour. I'm Penny Melville-Brown from Baking Blind here in Chongqing in China. I'm only going to be able to give you the smallest taste of this absolutely fabulous metropolis. Technically, it's the very largest city in the whole world. It's a centre of massive change, culturalism and an ever-changing landscape. If you're interested in a city that is at the absolute forefront of economic, social and environmental change, this is the place to be. Of course, there's already a strong international presence. Local businessmen and women of the Rotary Club of Chongqing were our key supporters, and particularly Julia, who did all our translation and made all the arrangements throughout our week here. Many influential women from all over the world collaborate through the International Women's Group. And they were amazingly polite about my cookery demonstration. And of course the UK is represented through the Consul General, the British Council and the Welsh office here. I've had a wildly busy week of different experiences. But it's the enthusiasm, vigour and massive friendliness of the Chinese people themselves that really stands out. Every one of them was a great ambassador for their fabulous city and their country. We were honoured to get a real insight into Chinese home life while cooking those famous dumplings with Yi and her aunt. Making fabulous sweet and sour pork with Charlie.
How feeling, please?
Delicious.
Oh, thank you so much.
And watching May put together this wonderful lunchtime feast for all of us on our last day. And she even burst into song because she's a former opera singer. And I was privileged to work in an authentic Chinese restaurant kitchen alongside Mr. Dong. The roar of the gas burners was just thrilling. Chef Dylan showed me his Cantonese recipes at the Intercontinental Hotel. Every day, with every cook and chef, our passion for cooking transcended our cultural and language differences. And I was lucky enough to share the Chongqing speciality hot pot with the top hotel chefs. We were all learning from each other and having a wonderful time. Most importantly, together we showed that a shared passion breaks through any barriers, disability or blindness. For me, the absolute highlight was the care, patience and empathy shown by the Intercontinental chefs. Jack and Dylan were teaching some kitchen basics to two local blind women. Cooking can sound so simple and mundane, but I could feel how potent it is in breaking down barriers. When I first created Baking Blind, I was hoping that the kitchen was the place to bring people together and change attitudes, whatever their background, whatever their condition in life, whatever their capabilities. Now I know it can succeed. The next few weeks in Australia and Malawi have got a tough act to follow. I haven't been anywhere else in the world as fascinating, exciting and intriguing as Chongqing. You really must try to get here.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.
I've been cooking with the bounty of Australia for the last week. This wonderfully decorated, life-sized model of a cow represents the pastoral delights of Kiama. The farming landscapes where nature stands huge, strong and strange, teeming with wildlife, beauty and delights. Cooking alongside Jo from the Country Women's Association gave me the first glimpse of how closely the people here are linked with their landscape. The huge range of climates across Australia produces a massive variety of homegrown fruit and vegetables. This means that many of the dishes have a touch of the exotic, like the salads by Rosemary and Jill. And that fusion of food is mirrored by the medley of cultures and cuisines here. From Iranian Eddie's fire pits to Swiss-born blind chef Martin's oriental fish, cooked French style. There's a real sense that this ancient land is the origin of all the food that has evolved worldwide. According to Martin, the lemon aspen is the grandmother of all citrus fruit. But Indigenous Aboriginals like Fred are probably closest to the land and all that it offers. The simplest, earliest cooking that celebrates each ingredient, its origin and its natural abundance.
Thank you. It's what it's all about. Good on you.
Good. And of course, I didn't miss out on tasting the produce that puts Australia on everyone's wine list. It was very easy to be beguiled by this idyllic vision of nature. The rolling hills, the vast skies, the expansive beaches. But the two thunderous local blowholes, powered by the might of the Pacific Ocean, should have warned us. Nature isn't just warm and cuddly here, but can change in an instant from frolics in the surf to a full-on life or death situation, which is just what happened to my videographer Toby and a friend this week.
A dramatic ocean rescue unfolded on the south coast this afternoon as two swimmers had to be saved from big seas off 7 Mile Beach at Jiroa.
4 police cars, 2 paramedic units, various volunteers, lifesavers and 2 helicopters all sprang into action. Together they brought about a happy and safe rescue on 7 Mile Beach. The local emergency services did a fantastic job and we are all hugely grateful to them. So I'm really pleased to report that the Baking Blind team is still intact and we are ready for our visits to the rest of Australia and Malawi in the next few weeks. I've had a great week here in Melbourne, exploring the diversity of people and their cooking styles. Cooking last week with Fred, I learned just a little about the Indigenous Aboriginal culture.
Because you can get all the seeds out and grind them down.
But this week has given me more insight into equality and diversity in Australia. There's some pretty uncomfortable history about the treatment of the Indigenous people here. They weren't legally people until 1967. Staggeringly, they were categorised as flora and fauna. The lost generation of Aboriginal children removed from their families has broken cultural ties, which means it can be very difficult for them to make claims to their historic land. Much of their history has never been written because their artefacts, their spoken chronicles and their way of life has been lost. But Australia is trying to rebuild its reputation for humanity, equality and diversity. There's much public concern about the refugees being detained on distant islands. And people are saying yes to legalising same-sex marriage. Cuisines, cultures and communities represent people here in Melbourne from all over the world. A typical example of real integration is this long-established Greek restaurant. It's owned by a Turk and run by a Hungarian. So it's no wonder that Eurobites attracts an equally diverse clientele. And we met the diversity of young men and women serving in the Australian Defence Forces. I spent a morning at the college that is training all their young catering and hospitality specialists. I met many people who are proud of their international backgrounds and still hold on to the food and the traditions that their families brought from their original countries. Maribel, who's also blind, has actually written a book for her children about their Spanish legacy. Cooking does so much to enrich lives. So Charlene, with a background from Malta, was cooking us this amazing Italian dish, but also studying French cooking. And Danny, with whom I made bread, is hugely enthusiastic about the fermented food that she's learned from migrants.
So some of what people found was most important to them, obviously, is their food and their culture that they carry with them in that way. And for a lot of these people, it's traditional to do these fermented products.
Yeah.
And for some of them, they'd be fermenting things, you know, almost in hiding because they weren't supposed to be. So they'd be doing it under sinks or under beds because that was just really, you know, part of who they were.
Amazingly entrepreneurial pastry chef Dre has actively sought a multinational, multi-ability team. It reinforces her whole concept of a family of professional cooks that work together to make the very best food.
Just the different array of people bring such a richness and fullness to what we do.
She's rewarded with a growing following of customers drawn from all over the world. So perhaps cooks and chefs are some of the best champions of diversity. Every day we draw on ingredients from all over the world, which are really easy to find in Australia because of its multiplicity of climates. Melbourne, with more cafes and restaurants per head than anywhere else in the world, is the clear winner. Celebrating international people and food in this gastronomic city is a great source of economic strength, enjoyment and employment. The triple prize. Perhaps the answer to equality and diversity is for chefs and cooks to rule the world, and then everything is going to be all right.
Don't you worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Don't you worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. 'Cause every little thing's gonna be alright.
I've just got back into the UK from Lilongwe in Malawi, where it was much warmer than here in the UK, where we have to wear jumpers. Malawi was truly the warm heart of Africa. The friendship, help and support for our cooking adventure was enormous. This is a country in transition and developing fast, but the people are still really close to their cultural roots, and here they were celebrating the change of a chieftain. This is a rural country where people still grow their own food, even in the heart of the capital city. They're nice and firm and fresh, aren't they?
Yeah.
People still cook their traditional food, such as this maize meal porridge called sima. Even this traditional dish is being reinterpreted because it's very close to polenta. Like Fred in Australia, people make use of the full range of plants and vegetables they can grow. So these cassava leaves are just like spinach.
Okay. How is it?
It is delicious.
Thank you.
And pumpkin leaves turned into just another delicious vegetable dish. We had the chance to cook in a local village and with the head chef at the excellent Latitude Hotel, where the food is a fusion of local ingredients and cuisines from all over the world. Malawi is changing fast, and the support from other countries and overseas businesses is helping to grow the economy. But like disabled people in many other parts of the world, some still face particular challenges. There are about 4,000 people with albinism in Malawi, with added risk of skin cancer and poor vision. But the government is helping.
Yes, we appreciate our government have now chipped in. They have provided us with the sunscreen lotion, the cream that protect our skin from the sun.
Just like anywhere else, life with a disability can be much more difficult. But people like Lazarus channel their determination, their skills, their positive spirit into successful and fulfilling lives. So that ended the Baking Blind World Tour. So now please do go and check out the YouTube channel where you can see all the videos of all the cooking sessions across the world. They were really just amazing. And then I got back to the UK, so there's more videos to come with me cooking with blind people here at home. See you soon. All the recipes are on my website, www.bakingblind.com.